All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Another day, another stream, another moment to connect with each and every one of you guys. And today, once again, just like some other days when we have these candid conversations, I'm in this particular mood where I'm a little bit confused. I'm a little bit confused as to what to expect, how to, how to look forward to a particular match. How should I feel? Excited? Should I feel confident? Should I feel that we should win or we must win? Or should I just go in with a particular mind frame that, look, whatever happens, happens. That's life. That's life. Look, I couldn't help think about the moment, the season that we won the Champions League under Thomas Tuchel. It was during this time frame. Where Thomas Tuchel took over. Obviously, he took over late January. Late January, he took over. And the Champions League round of 16 was just around the corner. I believe it was against Atletico Madrid. And I think the mood was somewhat similar, except we obviously majority of the fan base felt very strongly about Thomas Tuchel. They felt that Thomas Tuchel was, a top manager, coming from PSG. And PSG were in the final of the Champions League the season before. And they were very close. They were very close to winning it. And we felt that the team at that time, I'm pretty certain you guys would agree, when Lampard got sacked, we also felt similarly that the team probably was not good enough. There was a lot of players that weren't playing great. Obviously, we brought in a lot of new players like Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, Ziyech, Silva, obviously Ben Chilwell. But there were a few others that we weren't very keen with. We weren't keen with Rudiger. We weren't keen with Jorginho. We weren't keen with even Kovacic to a certain degree. We weren't keen with a lot of players. We weren't very, very keen with Christensen as well. But Thomas Tuchel came in and he found something. And it was this moment right now in the Champions League, second in the round of 16, where the magic started. I still remember that game against Atletico Madrid. Oliver Giroud. Wow. And then the second leg. And then from there on, we went on a bit of a run. Wow. Just thinking back in those moments, man, that was a fine season. That was a fine campaign. Can we not expect that now? Ladies and gentlemen? This is how I want to start this conversation. This is what I want to ask you guys. Can we not expect that maybe something could click? Hoping something could click? Or is that too much to expect? Is that a bit too much to expect? When you look at that team, and when you look at this team now, with the likes of Enzo Fernandez, with all these players that are back from injury as well. Yes, Kante is a huge miss. Kante is a massive, massive miss. Jorginho as well. Let's not beat around the bush. But back then, the likes of Christian Pulisic, the likes of Kai Havertz, the likes of Timo Werner, it wasn't as if they were burning it up. One player who was doing really well was Mason Mount, by the way. Mason Mount was doing really good. But this time around, when you look at the team, João Felix, Enzo Fernandez, Mudryk, Madueke, Sterling, it's a talented group. It's a really talented group. And then in the back line, Silva, I know there's not going to be any Badiashile because he's not in the Champions League. He's not registered. There's just not enough space. Koulibaly, you'd hope that it comes around. Koulibaly's obviously he's had an indifferent season so far at Chelsea, but let's be honest, he's not a bad defender, right? Like history shows he's a good defender. It's just obviously something has happened. Adaptation. There's an article I think out in the Athletics stating that he is finding it difficult, but he's still enjoying his time in London. He's apparently going to buy himself a property to settle down. You'd think, why would you buy a property if the rumors are that you're potentially going to be sold? Reece James, hopefully, he's starting to click into gears. Ben Chilwell is back as well. I feel like we should be giving it a good go. I really do feel like we should be giving it a good go, and I hope Graham Potter somehow just manages to galvanize this team and get this team together. I know in the press conference, Graham Potter said that, look, anything can happen, Dortmund, we must respect them, this, that, the other. That's fine. But I just wish Graham Potter just said in the press conference, we're looking to go through. We're looking to progress. We're looking to win this competition. Is that too much to ask? Is that level of confidence not warranted? Should we just stay humble? What happened to that, that cockiness? That cockiness sometimes is good, in my opinion. But let's see what you guys are saying. I hate to take this season as a write-off. Like, I don't know. I just get this feeling that no matter what happens this season, it's a write-off. It's a write-off. We're 10th again in the Premier League. And, we don't know. There is no accountability. There is no accountability. Even if we get knocked out by Dortmund, there is no accountability. So let's see what you guys are saying. Tim B, you don't want to give the other team motivation in the dressing room. I'm sure that's the expectation. But, I mean, look, each manager to their own. But there's so many times, I remember Thomas Tuchel, when he first took over, he said, we're here to win. We're here to win this competition. I think sometimes putting a statement out there just lifts up the morale of your own team. It just gives your team that belief. Do you know what I mean? The least I expect is to build on the first half from West Ham and a fighting second half. Result would be massive. Not having Premier League pressure should also help. Show something to look forward to. 100%, Aaron. Show us something to cling on to. Give us something, man. Give us something. Give us a bit of hope. Get that victory against Dortmund and just lift the morale. Wins are so important. Wins are like drugs. Wins are like drugs, man. Give us something. A win against Dortmund will just go so long. It would mean so much to this fan base. So much. A lot of the pessimism or the negativity is stemming from not having enough wins, not having enough victories. Low level confidence on manager side, it reflects to players. I agree with this, Mohammed. I really do. Low level confidence on manager side, it reflects on the players. When the manager's confident, the players are confident. I mean, that's just how I believe. We are wasting a talent. David Datra Fofana, this manager will waste that talent. Look, I mean, he's not in the Champions League lineup. It's very difficult to have. You could have only chosen 3. So Graham Potter's gone with Mudryk, Enzo Fernandez, and João Felix. I can't blame the manager in this scenario. I think there are certain times you can, have a go at the manager for certain decisions, but not he. He's only been given 3 positions, and I think he's made the right 3 decisions. João Felix is on a loan, and there's a lot of money that's being thrown for that loan. Mudryk is a big time signing. Enzo is a big time. Like, I can't blame Graham Potter on that. His 2023 wins are like drugs. Yeah, man. Like, it just gives you a buzz. This team is way better than Tuchel's team. Anyway, we beat Dortmund. I think it will be our season changer, or else we're done, son. I tend to think so as well, because that team was a shambles when Tuchel took over. I still remember just before Thomas Tuchel took over, we got okay. So we won that match. I think it was an FA Cup match where Mount was the captain, but that was just a farewell match for Lampard, really. But the game against Leicester, I remember that game against Leicester, we got toyed. And I remember, I think Rudiger, he did not have a very good game. There was a lot of players that didn't have a very good game. Maddison was balling. And I remember before Leicester as well, there was a game against City that just wasn't good enough. I think we squeezed out a 1-0 against Fulham. It was shambolic. That team as well, we felt was, what's going on? But Thomas Tuchel came in and did an absolute madness. Let's see what you guys are saying. Miz, I fear if we go out of UCL, our team's mentality will further go down, considering the players will now think there is nothing left to fight for. Wow, this is a big comment, Artav. I agree with this. If you're eliminated from the Champions League, what's there to look forward to anymore? It's so hard. Like, life is about, like, they're human beings, right? Like, life is about looking forward to things. You get knocked out for the Champions League, you're already 10th in the Premier League. And this is what I'm saying. Is this a write-off? Is this season a write-off? Should there be an asterisk on this particular season? When we look back in the stats one day, should this season have an asterisk on it? I just wish we took this season a little bit more seriously, man. I wish we were a little bit more accountable for this season. And just some of the reports that I'm seeing that, look, nothing's going to change. No one's going to say anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, Graham Potter, he's not going to be judged now. He's going to stick around. And I'm okay for him to stick around, but God damn it, can we win? Can we please win? Can we please win? And it's not as if our team is bad. Like, I could understand if the team in January didn't get the shake-up the way it did now. But, and you know, I want to have good expectation. I really do want to have good expectation. Roby, Miz, just say you are Potter out, bro. Roby, and to all the people that consistently ask me this, what benefit do you get if I say that? What benefit do you get? What is it? Why should I say that? Why should I say I'm Graham Potter out? I can't expect a win. That's all I'm really asking for. We've had 2 wins out of 13 Premier League games. I don't have the right to ask for a win. Why should I be forced to say, just say you're Graham Potter out? Why? Why should it be so black and white? Why can't I demand, Potter, give me a win? Give me a win. Like, there's enough ingredients now. There's enough ingredients in the team to get a win, to get on a bit of a run. You know, there's a lot of quality in the team now. It just needs Potter to really make these lot believe. I'm just thinking back when Thomas Tuchel first took over. During this time frame, what was the conversation? What was he saying to the team members? What was he saying to the players when we were entering this passage of time in the Champions League? I wonder what Graham Potter is saying to the players now, as opposed to what Thomas Tuchel was saying to the players then. I don't know. I wasn't there, but how can we galvanize the team? How can we galvanize the team? Do I not have the right as a fan? Do you, as a fan, not have the right to ask for a run in the Champions League? Or are you okay? Are you okay if results don't go your way? Are you okay to just put a blind eye on this particular season? Tim B, thanks so much for the super chat. Means I know it's hard now, but it's going to be all right. Players are only just now healthy and a lot of new faces. We will develop chemistry and be a force. Okay, so that's fine. You're talking about the future. That's great. That's great. Question is, what should be, and this is the real question to each and every one of you guys, nearly 250 live right now. Smash the like, but only 31 likes. Let's bump the likes up to 100 immediately, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe, please. Let's bump those likes. The likes are what will drive this channel to where you want it to see one day, to the top echelons of world football. So please bump the likes. I really, really would appreciate that. We've got more than enough people to get at least 200 likes. I want to ask each and every one of you guys, what is your feeling moving into this game coming up against Dortmund? Away from home, it's going to be difficult. It's not going to be easy. It will be difficult. But what is your feeling moving into this game? What do you expect? What should you expect? What can you expect? What would be a reasonable outcome for you? This is what I want to hear from you guys. I feel like a lot of the fan base, we don't know what to expect anymore. It's like we see all these different reports that regardless of what happens, the manager will stay. So it kind of makes me feel like, well, then it doesn't really matter, does it? A loss, a win, a draw, it doesn't matter. We just focus next season. But I feel like we may not be in the Champions League next season. In fact, there's a big chance we're not going to be in the Champions League next season. This is the moment. Right now, we are in the Champions League. And God knows, you know, if Champions League position next season is a guaranteed for us or not. There's some top quality teams in the Premier League. City, Arsenal, Man United rising. Newcastle will only get stronger. Liverpool will not be in the bottom of the barrel too long. It's not getting easy. Spurs, I don't know. They're going to be there and thereabouts. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not a guaranteed scenario that we make top 4 next season. Arash, thank you so much for the super chat. 6-1 Dortmund win. I'm not joking, Ms. GPL. Wow. I think if it's a calamity in this manner, if it's a calamity of this manner, I think that would be crazy. Potter can't win, I guess. If we do something good, it's the player's individual brilliance. But if we lose, it's on him. Yeah. I see how you've twisted that, Ben. I see how you twisted that. I mean, Ben, have a look at that first half and tell me tactically, what did we do to get things right? Like, it wasn't as if we were in control. I'm not going to discredit Graham Potter on the first half entirely. I think we were definitely in control, but the goal was obviously from an excellent individual brilliance from Enzo Fernandez. And this is what we paid for. So I'm not going to take that away from Graham Potter. But we were, for at least first 30, 35 minutes, we were under control. And yeah, I have to credit. But the second half, his substitutions, surely you're gonna have to say that that's on Potter. I'm happy to give him the credit for the first half. I'm happy to give him the credit. I'm not one of those fans that just go, "Oh no, it's not." No, I think there was some nice, well-drilled play that we saw from build-up, and I'm pretty sure that's been worked in the training ground. Because why do you think the owners have faith in Potter? They see something we do not. I mean, only the owners can say. Some of the things that they've been saying is, I mean, they really think he's one of the best managers out there. His communication skills, I suppose, is a big factor for them. They must see definitely something in the training ground. They must see that, he's trying very, very hard. They must see that maybe he's got a very analytical mind. And of course, they would have seen the history in Brighton, how he develops young players and eventually gets a team like Brighton that probably shouldn't be competing against the big dogs, and he got them to compete. So maybe that's what they see. Maybe they see a potential. Maybe they see, just like, some of the players that we've bought, we see potential. I think the new owners probably see potential in Graham Potter. Just because a player isn't performing well shouldn't necessarily mean asking for them to leave the club. Same with the manager. Criticizing an individual doesn't necessarily mean you want them out. Well said. Sutton fired a manager with similar results. They are a relegation club and still owners knew it. Wasn't expected. I'm not asking Potter to be sacked. I just want one win. Why is that seen as a crime? Like, this is how I feel as well. Look, I'm going to... Look, obviously we can sit here and banter about the whole situation with Southampton. At the end of the day, Nathan Jones kind of self-destructed as well. And this is one thing that Graham Potter, he's very articulate when it comes to talking to the press. So he's not self-destructing. Goes a long way. Nathan Jones was just a little bit erratic, and that probably contributed. He probably created a bad vibe within the playing group. And perhaps Graham Potter provides a good vibe within the playing group. What do you mean, how have I twisted it? It's true. I've seen people in the comments saying that the first half was individual brilliance. Like, fair enough. I mean, I can't comment on what other people are saying, but I can only talk about what I'm saying. And Miz, now we've got Vivell, Lawrence Stewart, etc., and they also assess him. Maybe they have also checked him out. Yeah, they probably have. Marvial, Miz, did you check Reece Sky interview? Yes, I did. He's saying the same thing. We can't expect us to be Galacticos or Prime Barca next month. This is reality. We fail hard before succeeding. Here's the thing. Every time people ask for one victory, everyone responds to me with this particular manner like Marvial has. We can't expect us to be Prime Barcelona. We can't expect us to be Prime Galacticos. My man, when did anyone expect us to be Prime Barca or Prime Galacticos? This is what I'm like. This is some of the things that I have issues with on Twitter as well. CFC Daily, he'll go on and tweet all this negative stuff at times. And then yesterday he goes, this isn't a write-off season. I do expect some improvement, this, that, the other. And he's the same guy who always goes after people like me or like you guys saying, oh, you expect too much. Not once, and I kid you not, heart on my heart, not once did I expect us to be Prime Barca or Prime Galacticos. Not once. I only wanted some wins. Out of the 13 matches that we've lost in the Premier League, I honestly just wanted 50% win. Now, if you think that is Prime Barca, Prime Galacticos level of demanding, 50%, then that's mad. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying, I completely understand this is a process. I completely understand this is a project. But I'm saying at least let's hit 50% wins. At least. Out of 13 matches in the Premier League, let's at least get 6 wins. 6. Is that too much to ask for? I'm not asking 12 out of 13. That would be crazy. This match against Dortmund, I want us to really put up a fight, really showcase, that we mean business. Is that too much to ask for? Does that equate to me saying, oh, you want Chelsea to be prime Barca? You want Chelsea to be prime Galactica? No, I'm not delusional. Liz, what do you think about bringing back Mourinho? There were some rumors. This is a trick question, isn't it? This is a trick question. Look, it's not going to happen. All right? It's not going to happen. I'm not. Am I a football romantic at times? Yes. Would I love to see Jose one more time at Chelsea? Of course. I know what we went through with Jose. But do I think it's the right to bring him in now? No. I personally think football has left him. Footballing ideologies has left him. There's a difference, right? There's a difference. In a fantasy world, I would love to see Jose. In reality, no, I wouldn't. I think his time is up. Would he get more out of the players that we have right now if he was given an opportunity? I think he would. I personally think he would. Just my opinion. I could be wrong. It's just my opinion. Balak CFC, Americans always keep coaches for a long time. Lol. People really think they're going to sack a coach after 6 months after backing him with a 5-year deal. Players can see the vision, unlike impatient fans. I mean, look, once again, I can't comment on what other fans are thinking. I know there's a lot of fans out there who are thinking, let's sack him and this, that, the other. Look, I'm not talking about let's sack him. I'm saying that there's concerns. There are some areas where I feel like, man, I want to believe you, but you need to give me something. And if you think that equates to me saying Potter out or manager out, that's mad. What should I do then? Not even speak. Don't say a word. I think we have a right to address the concerns. I think fans, genuine fans, I'm not talking about the kids, I'm not talking about your 15, 16-year-olds that just go out there and just blabber. I'm talking about mature fans. I think they have a right to say, are you the right guy? I don't think the proper fans have an issue with giving a manager a long opportunity. And I've said it many times. I don't think with these new owners coming in, and it's quite evident that they want to give someone, obviously they've got Graham Potter for a long-term contract. I don't think genuine fans have an issue with giving a manager a long-term contract. I think what they have an issue is give it to the right guy. Give it to the right person. How do you judge whether a person is right or wrong? How long is that required? Okay, that's a different story perhaps. Has Graham Potter had adversities? 100% he has. Has there been insane level of injuries to key personnel? Of course. Has there been a lot of new players coming in at once and there needs to be a time of gelling as like Reece James has had recent times? Of course. But even through adversities, because in life, there won't be a particular moment where you're just free of adversities. There's nothing. There's always going to be trouble. There's always going to be this, that, the other. You've got to learn how to manage through that. You've got to be able to turn those moments into a positive situation for you. I think that's all we're trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say. Looking back in these the stretch of games that we've been so poor. I just wished I seen few moments where Potter was able to tactically, or from a motivational standpoint, turn a few games around for us. I think this is what we saw with Eric Ten Hag. This is what we saw with Newcastle and Eddie Howe. I just wish I saw that with Graham Potter at Chelsea Football Club, because I rated Graham Potter in Brighton. I really did. And I just wish I saw that. That's all I'm saying. Ms. Potter was manager of Brighton and had never managed a better team. Why believe that we'll succeed at Chelsea when numbers are so obvious? Need another 600 million on new players. I can't wait for the Enzo Kante double pivot. You, man, will regret ever underestimating Chelsea Football Club. Look, God knows when Kante is going to be back. I hope when he's back, we're still in the Champions League. I hope so. I would like to see what team he picks in the next few games. Yeah, that would be very interesting indeed. Going out of UCL will create a massive headache for the manager and keep 35 players happy. This is true. Already players like Chalobah, players like Koulibaly, they're not getting an opportunity. Pulisic will be in the mix. Sterling is back. So already there's going to be issues not being able to give players enough game time. And then if you're out of the Champions League, it just makes it that much harder. Potter still uses Havertz, Mount, Gallagher, and not Carney, David Datra, Fofana. Why is he doing that for underperforming players? Look, these are the things that he needs to change. Potter is one of the managers who changed his formation the most in Brighton, but now he doesn't change it. Surely it means he tries to implement a rigid system, and it takes time for us. Let's see, Miz. Look how good Rashford is now. He never went through what our player go through when they're off form. Now he's cooking. These players are human. Let me tell you something, right? Obviously, I'm not a Man United fan, so I don't follow. Of course, Rashford was bad last season. But I don't know if you saw what Rashford did pre-season, right? One thing about Rashford is he's damn determined. He is damn determined. He came into this season with vengeance. And he is now on fire, scoring goals every single game. I understand our players can go through bad times. I completely get any individual can go through bad moments. I get it. But where is that drive, that vengeance, that desire to come back? It seems like Havertz, Mount, Gallagher, and there's many more. There doesn't seem like a hunger to really come back and show that determination. Do you remember Havertz against Spurs? If you guys remember earlier this season, again, when Thomas Tuchel was still around, that Havertz was a different beast that game against Tottenham. And then see him against all these other teams. And now compare that with Rashford. This is what I'm saying. Rashford changed because there was a burning desire inside him. He was so determined to do well. So determined to do well. Yeah, perhaps. And this is probably why we got that mentality monster. This is probably why we got that mentality guy. Let's see what he can bring. I just thought that maybe Graham Potter will be the mentality guy for the team. I didn't think that we needed another external person to do that. But look, it's fine. I'm accepting of that particular notion now. It's going to be a loss versus BVB and Southampton and Spurs. I ain't fooling myself again that this coach can do magic, man. Honestly, if that happens, wow, 3 losses. United fans were saying the exact same for Rashford. Means it looked like he couldn't be bothered. Okay, fair enough. Look, I'm not a United fan. I can only see what I saw. And I saw there were some clips of Rashford pre-season training videos, this, that, the other. It looked like he was damn determined to come back. And and he started the season well as well. He was scoring goals in the beginning. He's just gone through a stretch of 10 games or something like that where he's scoring every single game. Ten Hag has backroom staff under Pep at Bayern and Barca. Then he went to Ajax to create and rebuild two teams. Don't compare Potter to Ten Hag. Fair enough. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll wrap things up. Before we go, smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Only 17 more likes left to get to 100 likes, so that'll be easy. After 287 votes, you guys have voted that it is a write-off. This season is a write-off. 72% are saying this is a write-off. Fair enough. I guess we all have to adjust our expectation. But yeah, it's a strange feeling moving into this match against Dortmund in the Champions League. Look, coming up, we'll do the preview tomorrow morning, same time like now. We'll do the preview tomorrow, where we'll do the lineup and whatnot. And later on tonight, I may have Ryan and we'll talk about Dortmund. We'll talk about what Dortmund's been up to, and we'll try and dissect, what are the strengths, weaknesses of Dortmund. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. I shall see you guys very, very soon. Until then, see ya.